Welcome back to Talkville. Welling's here again. You guys are getting Welling in studio 2 weeks in a row. This should be a huge episode.
Well, I'm just glad you guys are here to have me. Thank you.
It's the Talkville Rewatch podcast, and Ryan's here. Tea's going over his notes and his favorite scene. Hopefully he saw the episode. Patreon.com/Talkville if you want to join Patreon and support this show. The grand tier is now available for those who want to watch viewings with me and Tom, and you get a special gift signed by us that no one else will get. Top tiers also get great stuff like, being on the show and other cool stuff. And if you're supporting the show, you get your name shouted out, and we couldn't do this show without you. And if you did get a chance to call on the hotline, you know it's there. You know what to do. I'm not going to tell you what to do. It's in the show's description. Come on. Tom, I got a lot of stuff going on. Go to my Instagram at the Michael Rosenbaum Linktree, Cameo, all the cons we're going to. We're going to a lot of cons.
Yeah.
I mean, just look at that and come visit us. Come see us. We do the Smallville nights.
And you're making TV shows and you're doing lots of stuff.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to make TV shows. Look, just because you get written about in the trades doesn't mean shit. It's not until...
Good to know. Good to know.
Yeah. It starts with pen to paper. Then it's... Yeah, you know how it goes. And also, Rosie's Puppy Fresh Breath for your dog's breath is online on Amazon. You just do a capful in your dog's water, odorless, tasteless, and your dog's breath is so much better. I use it on my dogs and myself. So check that out. And my fart book is available, The Talented Farter, on Amazon. It's a sound book. You'll love it. Get it. Without further ado, let's get into Season 6, Episode 9, Subterranean. Also, we have lunchboxes signed by me and Tom. And there's not many.
We just signed them today.
We just signed them, so they're going to go fast. So lunchboxes they're on the Inside of You online store, along with ship keys and other shit. Title: Subterranean airs December 7th, the day that will live in infamy. Director Rick Rosenthal. Well, here's what you want to do, Tom. Writers Caroline Dries. Rick Rosenthal directed Lexmas. Guest star Aaron Ashmore. Tyler Posey as Javier Ramirez. John Novak as Jeb McNally. Tyler Posey was in Teen Wolf, in case you didn't know.
I wonder if Rick would come on the podcast.
Well, I remember.
He's such a great guy.
Yeah.
I always enjoyed seeing and talking to him. And
yeah, he's old now.
We all are.
I love Rick.
He's 22 years older than the last time we saw him.
Synopsis: After finding common ground with an illegal alien, Clark makes it his mission to reunite a young boy with his mother and uncover an insidious, undocumented slave labor ring being funded by, guess who? Luther Corp.
It's funny you said Rick Rosenthal directed Lexmas, because in his IMDb profile picture, he looks like Santa Claus.
Oh, he does.
He's wearing like a green jacket and a red scarf, and he's got this big white beard.
Yep.
That's funny.
Yep. He always had his cargo pants on.
Yeah, he's got cargo pants.
Yeah, he was aware.
That's really fun.
He just had such great stories, and he had such command of the set in the best way. You know, like he always seemed to know what he was doing.
He did. And he made you feel comfortable. Like it was like, oh, on this one, yeah, I'd like to see a little more emotion. We kind of. I'm like, I get it. But he was great. He was great.
This episode immediately begins with a sense of controversy as we see underage foreign manual laborers working the field and complaining about not being paid, essentially being slaves. As Javier Ramirez discusses making an escape, they see a colleague who necesitos ayuda as he falls from exhaustion.
Let me say, necesitas ayuda?
Sí.
Sí.
Yes, yeah.
Bienvenidos a los Estados Unidos. Me llamo Miguel. Yo tengo grande cabeza, ¿sí?
Sí.
Sí. Continuation.
Later that night, Javier and his friend make a break for it through the cornfield. Javier makes it out, but some underground creature grabs Francisco before he can taste freedom.
Yeah, that was a cool opening. The scope of it. It was very movie. It was like a movie. There was a lot going on.
Planes flying in the background.
Yeah, the overhead shots of the cornfields, the dark, the smoke, the fog or whatever. It was really, really cool.
Yeah.
I wish the episode was as cool. The next day in Smallville, Lana greets her baby daddy as he gets ready for a busy day of questionable, world-threatening business. Lex tells her what he wishes he could take the proposal back and doesn't want to burden the mother-to-be anymore. And over at the Kent farm.
Why didn't she tie his tie?
I don't know if she knows. Tom never wore a tie. Your Clark never wore a tie.
Yeah, but Tom knows how to tie a tie.
But Clark was a button-down boy. And
it just seemed like an opportunity where they could be talking and,
I'm glad you weren't there to recommend that.
Yeah, me too.
Because that would have taken another 3 hours. Over at the Ken Farm, we get one of the most inexplicable character meetings yet as Clark catches Javier cleaning his hands in the barn and then proceeds to get the 411 on his prison escape and the harsh conditions within it. And after hearing out his story about wanting to find his mom, Clark, the lethal alien, decides to commit his second crime in 2 episodes, this time by harboring an illegal alien.
So before I forget, there's a moment. It's at 7 minutes and
You have it right there?
Yeah, 7 minutes and 16 seconds. I gotta go.
You see your sides. Sides are little mini scripts of the lines, folks, and you can see his sides in his pocket.
No one.
It's like the Starbucks cup in Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Clark pays a trip to the McNally farm to see what the F is going on. He talks with Jed long enough to distract him and allows him to get info from the other workers. The entire police force of Smallville is hard at work trying to locate the single undocumented Latino boy living amongst them. As a deputy searches the barn, Clark questions immigration policy and later relates that with Javier about being out of place. It's very, it's a parable of, what goes on in the United States and other places. And
at Luther Corp.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it's like, the harshness, the taking advantage of immigrants. And, it's just sad. It's like, kids are separated from their mother. And so there was a taste of that. But, this episode, it seemed like I was waiting for things to happen. And it just was like, we get it. And it wasn't.
Well, I think what they were going for, and they hint to it at the end, is the idea of being an alien, illegal alien, Clark being an alien,
right?
Feeling alienated,
being an outcast,
being separated from his family. I think that's what. That's what they were going.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
No, yeah. I saw it. I thought that was right on target. I mean, but I just felt like it was sort of boring, this episode. It was kind of like it was the A story really, for the most part, driving the show, and the A story, as important as it was and compelling and sad and all that, it just wasn't. There's the sides in his pocket.
That's even better. So
it could have been toilet
three
tissue.
Times.
Oh my God, yeah, I see it.
Yeah.
I would be interested, like, if we could, like, to hear what Al had to say about this, because it was like a very specific. It was one that like reflected back, probably like some very intense conversations that were happening in the country and are still continuing to happen in a very real way.
And normally that's not the case on Smallville. So
right?
They did this. This was on purpose for sure. Are you calling Al?
Yeah. Al, I'm here with Tom in studio. Say hello to Tom.
Hi, Al.
Hello, sir.
Hey, I know your son's just had his birthday, and you said you're getting old, but we all are.
Yeah, well, we're all getting old, buddy. Hey, how you doing first and foremost?
Good. Yeah, I'm well. I
don't hear from you much. You used to always want to get lunch with me, and now you're larger than life now, and I don't hear, hey, let's get lunch with Rosenbaum, or hey, what's Rosenbaum up to?
We would. I'm actually heading out of town for a week, but when I'm back, and Miles will be back as well. We're just
let's go get some dinner on you.
Yeah, let's absolutely let's have dinner. Let's catch up.
Yeah, you're employed, so you're
absolutely.
buying.
Yeah. Hey, we're going over Subterranean, and I found the episode to be rather boring, but at the same time important. And
the subject matter.
It was like an illegal alien and the farm, and
Oh yeah, is this the one with Tyler Posey?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. This was very interesting because what we wanted to kind of explore here, and we were never a show, frankly, that was ever terribly political, and we didn't think this was political. It was just the idea that Clark is frankly the ultimate illegal alien. As much as this has been in the news, it was in the news 20 years ago. This has always been a sort of a hot button issue. But we like the idea of exploring that. And I'll be honest with you, we got a lot of pushback from the network on this story.
I could see that.
Yeah, because they're like, "Ooh, this feels very like political." You know what I mean? Which is not. And again, it's not something as a show that we did, but we just thought in this case, we were in season 6, and it was something that we frankly had never explored before. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like what is it, and how does Clark feel about it? And because Clark looks the way he looks, he gets a pass. So it was very interesting, and we really we loved Tyler, and obviously he went on to do big things. He was a lead in Teen Wolf for 6 seasons.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's a perfect show by any perfect episode, but I thought what it had to say. I know Miles and I.
I say it's like a parable, right?
Yes. Yeah. Kind of. Exactly. So, and it just felt like at this point, you're in season 6 and you're just looking for new ways to to kind of explore the character.
Someone Clark can relate to. Clark can relate to this kid, and maybe the kid can relate to him, and somebody's like, you're not like everyone else. You're different, because he sees his power. He's like, no, I'm not. I am different, and you're different, and different's okay.
Yeah, exactly right.
So,
exactly right.
No, I'm starting to like this episode more now that I think about this. Now that I'm learning.
Like I said, it's not something. It is probably, in terms of sort of quote unquote hot button issues, it's probably the most political the show ever got.
Yeah.
So
what my favorite part was, and I'm not meaning to toot my own horn, but the last scene with Lex Luthor in the hallway with 33.1, that to me was like, boom, larger than life. Yeah. There we go. That was the big hook at the end, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. And again, this was a season, the episode, the end of season 5, was kind of, we sort of blasted it into a whole new world, and obviously introducing, Oliver Queen this season, sort of opening up, Clark to the fact that there are other people out there who are using their abilities for the greater good. And I think, this season, again, as you're literally like halfway through the series. You're really kind of stepping out into the bigger Superman world.
Yeah.
So I think that's, it's interesting. And I do think bringing Oliver Queen in again gave the show a fresh perspective. And Justin's fantastic.
Yeah. I loved it.
Yeah.
We were talking, I know you guys were on board if we ever get this going, but we wanted to do that Smallville animated series, which I think would be just genius, because you get everybody's voices from the cast, the original cast, and it could be a great show. So when the time comes, Al, we got to do that. People are always asking about it.
Does anybody know who runs Warner Brothers now?
Yeah, somebody else runs Warner Brothers, so we have a better chance.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. You always. I think the problem with most projects in development in any studio or at any network is regime change, and Warner's has obviously gone through a lot. And I think the fact that they're in the process of rebooting Superman again, kind of unfortunately, I think keeps our thing off the table for a bit.
That's what I was thinking, because they're doing their own thing. So next regime, man.
These things, as you know, they all come. Everything comes around again in one form or another. I just read the other day, like they're rebooting Buffy. So
what?
At Hulu, at Hulu they're rebooting Buffy. So I think again, what's interesting about Superman in general is, Smallville very much spoke to its era, right? I think the show's timeless, which is a testament to the fact that people find the show and it still has many fans. But we definitely spoke to the era we were in, and obviously there have been reinventions of Superman in the nearly 13 years we've been off the air, and but I do think it'll come around again, because I think the show went for 10 seasons, there's 200 episodes, is people lived with Tom as Clark Kent and a sort of an iteration of Superman. Tom, I'm with you. The red blue blur, like, that was past our time. I know. I'll be honest with you.
That.
When we saw the series, like DVD set, and Miles saw that trench coat, he literally was like, "What is this? I would have never approved this in a million
What the hell are they doing?"
Yeah. Oh, believe me, that got a lot of But again, my point is
That makes me feel
you were
better.
in their lives the most and in their homes every week. And Michael, you too, which is why I think there is, people, love you guys as, Clark Kent and Lex Luthor. So I do think we'll have our time. It could come back around. Animation feels like the best way to do it, to be honest, just given the amount of time and, the story. You can still tell stories post the series, but, you've still got the cast. And to be honest, you guys and Kristen and Erica and Laura and John do a wonderful job of, keeping the show alive with the conventions. And, every time you guys post, it's amazing to see that it's still a show that means so much to people. I'm sure you guys hear it all the time at the conventions. We hear it as well when we're out, even promoting other things, people, we heard it the other day. We went in to do an EPK for the second season of Wednesday. And one of the sound guys was like, I love Smallville when my daughter was younger. We used to watch it together. And I hear that a lot.
Multi-generational. I hear that a lot as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's multi-generational. When back in the WB days, Tom, we called it the dads and daughters show. Dads love Superman and the daughters thought you were hot. So it was
unless they had goth daughters.
And then they like
Lex.
No, exactly. Then they were into Lex. I think Lex was who they came. Lex is who they came around to in later seasons. They're like, oh, he's dangerous. I like him.
Yeah.
Well,
this is. Go ahead. Yeah. Well, dude, I had one question and it opened up a can of worms that was just a delicious treat, actually. So no, we love hearing from you. So we got to call you more often. I mean, good God.
Absolutely.
But thanks for answering. And when you get back, let's go get some food.
Absolutely.
All right. All my love, Al.
Yeah, that's who I wanted to hear from, especially for this one.
Yeah, we needed that.
I needed that. Just watch. Yeah, I was like, I wanted to hear it from. Yeah. So yeah, that's cool. I'm glad he answered.
Did your rating just go up half a rose?
Yeah.
Talkville is brought to you by Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the best place to get real money sports action. With over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings, Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. You just pick more or less than on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 1,000 times your cash. Run your game all season long on Prize Picks. Tom, I've told you about this. You see me do it all the time. I watched a game last night. I watched a hockey game and I had no interest in watching it. And then I thought, you know what? I'm going to make this interesting. And I put 20 on a player that I think he'd get more than a point. And he did. And I won $40. Actually, I won $60. Thank you very much. So it's a lot of fun. It's something that you could do. And you don't have to know a lot about sports. This is like one of those daily fantasy sports platforms where you don't have to study and know all the ins and like these guys that think they're geniuses. You can just go and put more or less than on 2 players and be done with it. You're done in 15 seconds and the withdrawals are fast. You get your money fast. I love it. I love Prize Picks.
Don't miss your chance to cash in as the league's best fight for playoff positioning.
Tom, I was watching basketball. I know you like basketball. I don't even like basketball, but I'm watching basketball because I'm using Prize Picks and I'm going to have a little fun. And I put 20 down on a guy and I was like, you know what? He's going to get more than this many rebounds.
You went on rebounds, not even points?
Exactly, because he's really tall and, I know this guy could just rebound the ball. And then this other guy, I go, oh, he's going to get less than 20 points. And I won just like that. It's so much fun, man. I got to get you going on this, man. Got to get you going on the Prize Picks.
Prize Picks is the best place to win cash while watching sports. Join over 10 million users and sign up today.
On Prize Picks, you can mix and match player projections from different sports. Combine your favorite basketball players with players from baseball, hockey, esports, and much, much more. Prize Picks accepts major credit cards for quick and easy deposits into your accounts this sports season. Download the app today and use code TALKVILLE to get $50 in bonus promo funds instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code TALKVILLE to get $50 in bonus promo funds instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, run your game. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details. Talkville is brought to you by AG1. I just took my AG1 this morning, Tom. I know you did too. Am I right?
Yeah, I did take it this morning, and I was just in New York visiting my family, and my sister, I walk outside and there's a box of AG1, and I was like, you take AG1? She goes, yeah, every day. And I was like, do you use the Talkville code? She goes, what code? And I'm like, are you kidding me?
Use the talk. Look, when it comes to our health, Tom and I and all of us want something we can trust, and that's why we choose AG1. With science-backed ingredients and real benefits, I can feel AG1 makes it easy to support overall wellness every single day. And that's why we've been partnering with AG1 for so long. It's so easy, folks. Instead of taking all these vitamins and minerals every day, I just put a scoop of AG1 in a glass of water. I stir it. It tastes great, and I'm done. Start a healthy habit. Tom, it's so easy. I wish people would just give it a shot because I think they'll notice a difference. What we're feeling is just more sustained energy and clarity throughout the day.
Yeah, it's easy to drink. What I really like is it liquefies in the water really good when you stir it up. I really like that.
And you know what else I love? What do I always talk about? My gut health. I used to be like nervous when I'd leave the house because I thought I have to go to the bathroom. I was, I know it sounds funny, but I started taking AG1 because of the probiotics and prebiotics they have in this drink. And it has cleared my stomach up wholeheartedly, 100,000%. So thank you, AG1. And AG1 is offering new subscribers a free $76 gift when you sign up. You'll get a welcome kit, a bottle of D3K2, and 5 free travel packs in your first box. So make sure to check out drinkag1.com/Talkville to get this offer. That's drinkag1.com/Talkville to start your new year on a healthier note.
Martha finds out about Clark's safe house and responds with more disappointment than when he got married in Vegas a few seasons back.
I remember this scene because Clark kind of raises his voice to his mama.
Yeah.
And that wasn't easy.
Yeah.
I remember it being...
You remember, I'm an alien too, Mom.
Yeah.
I could just hear if there were an audience, like, oh, yeah. I could just hear that, you know.
Not only is her son breaking the law, but now the state senator is harboring underage undocumented workers. Oh, no.
Clark leaves his barn and heads to the McNally farm for a meeting at El Grande Arbol. What the hell is that?
El Grande Arbol.
El Grande Arbol. After hearing how the ground swallowed Javier's friend Francisco, Clark uses X-ray vision to find a graveyard of people directly underneath him. Clark takes Javier to the talent so Chloe can use her snooping skills to help locate his mother in Granville.
Now, does this resonate with you at all about people burying people in their yards?
It does. The show I'm pitching, absolutely. Jimmy stops by with roses, whipped cream, and swagger, and a condom, hoping to take Chloe out on a hot night in Kansas. But after seeing Javier, their plans change. Jimmy then does his best to phonically communicate with the young Latino boy, and Clark arrives with the news about the McNally graveyard, and Chloe tells him that after the recent meteor shower, Luther Corp purchased the land.
I remember the actor who played McNally. I remember
he was good. He was such a character.
Well, I remember meeting him and he's, he talks in such a way, and I couldn't figure out if he was in character or not. And then I remember getting coffee at craft service and kind of chit-chatting, and that's just how he talked.
English voice?
Well, just in the voice that you see in the show.
Well, how are you, Tom?
Yeah, and I just remember being like, wow, that's
good
cool.
to see you.
Yeah.
Are you getting the green beans with the chicken or what?
Yeah.
If nearly ending the world as Zod wasn't enough, the involvement in undocumented slave labor is a new low for the Luthers, forcing Clark to make a late-night visit to Luthor Mansion to confront Lex. Lex is beyond sick and tired of Clark's bullshit at this point.
So there's a problem with this.
I'm sorry, Clark. Yeah. Did I not wipe my buns enough for you?
Well, Clark says the wrong line here because Lex says, you're not welcome here anymore. And Clark says, I don't want to be here either. Well, that's a bad line. He should say either.
I get it. I don't want to be here either.
But I don't want to be here myself. Not either. It's just bad diction.
I don't want to be here myself.
Yeah.
I don't want to be here either. Either works, I think. Doesn't it?
He's just got a habit of confronting people when he thinks they're doing the wrong thing. Like that's just sort of his tick.
I wish.
And
Yeah.
so he's
With
like,
no-
I don't want to do this either. Like, no one's making you.
With no real way of solving it.
Yeah.
Just barging in and being
I
like,
wish
I
they-
don't like what you're doing.
I wish they'd be like more sophomoric. Like, it's like, I
are you
thought you
doing
weren't
here?
welcome here. And you're like,
Can you
and Lex is like, ooh, what did I do this time? What if I was just, and they're like, that's too Rosenbaum. Be more Lex. It's like, oh, look at me. I'm Clark Kent, farm boy, telling me. Yeah.
I can't tell people my real feelings.
Yeah. Oh.
Lex has no clue what Clark is accusing him of and has a little more on his mind to worry about at the moment.
Back at the town, Javier makes his second escape in the episode. He decides that Jimmy's jealousy and lack of self-confidence was too much to handle. So he runs off and hitches a ride. Yeah.
hard to trust
I love
people.
Aaron, but Jimmy was really cheesing it up this episode. It was too corny. It was like his lines that he had. It was just like, it was just too much. I was like, I noticed it. Usually I'm like, I don't know, he makes me
like
smile.
hamming it?
Yeah. Now he wasn't. It was the
Oh, yeah.
lines. The next day at the McNally farm, after being tipped off by Clark, law enforcement begin the discovery of body after body hidden underground like some sort of Mesa murders crime scene. And Clark Kent has a knack for getting crime scene clearance, so he's able to waltz onto the farm
This just happened.
and learn about the
Well,
forged citizenship
he
documents
kept the badge from last episode.
and deportation of the existing workers. And McNally rants about potato pickers as he gets escorted to a police car and tries to justify slave
You know,
labor.
if I was smarter at the time, I would have asked for that. Can I just have the coroner's badge? Clark just keeps it all the time now.
Why does it say Seattle PD on it? Never mind.
Yeah, well, I'm going to get back at you, boy. Before he can get put in his car, Jed gets sucked into the ground beneath him and escapes.
Over at Luther Mansion, Lex is beside himself after learning about the mass murder on the McNally farm. Apparently, though, they were aware of Jed's meteor freak powers and slave labor force.
Lex didn't know about that he was doing all these horrible things.
There's levels of separation with all your entities.
I just don't think Lex is that bad yet. Like, I think he knew things and he's like, wait a minute. You could see it. Like, I didn't know about this. What that? So there's some truth to that.
Clark heads to the DP to get more info from Chloe. He learns about Jed's disappearance after the meteor shower and how it gave him underground railroad powers that he ironically used to deploy above ground slavery tactics. Heyo. Clark's next stop is to the bus station to save Javier from being arrested and detained when he's caught hiding in a bus heading to Granville. However, in the process, Clark is forced to reveal his powers to the kid he's only known for 24 hours.
Chloe and Jimmy head to Granville to try and connect with Javier's mother, Esperanza. She was really pretty. I don't know. I just thought I'd say that. They find her immediately and take her back to Smallville. As Clark and Javier are driving back home for the meeting with his mom, Clark breaks the bad news about Francisco and his dirt nap. Terrible. Javier is so upset that he gets out of the truck and runs into a nearby cornfield, conveniently where Jed McNally is hiding. Jed pulls underground, Clark underground, and the two have an absolutely epic fight scene that we can't see, resulting in Clark tossing him through the ground and protecting Javier from getting harmed. And Javier reunites with Esperanza as the Kents and Martha talk about jumping through legal loopholes to help him gain citizenship as soon as possible. They left McNally there. They just walked away. I guess.
Yeah, I know.
I guess they called Chloe and said, "Chloe, he's in the cornfield. Go there." That's what I'm assuming. I don't know. It was kind of weird.
I thought they did a good job of setting up the hero moment when Clark comes out of the ground. Though.
Yeah, that was kind of fun.
Like it was kind of
I liked it. I didn't think you
wanted
needed
to-
more. I knew it was Clark.
Yeah. Someone gets spat out of the ground and they're like, oh. Yeah.
Clark's like, I guarantee in this episode, if Clark was like, knew that these were episodes that he's portraying this character, if like Clark, even though he's this real character, but he knew he'd be like, he'd read it and go, cool, this character's easy to kill.
Yeah.
I'm not going to have much problem with this. I don't have to work as hard.
I just have to find him.
Yeah, I just have to
That's
find
it.
this son of a bee.
Clark's got nothing to prove. Like this isn't the weirdest power that he's encountered.
No.
Like he's all over this.
Yeah,
Like, we
thank
know
God I
it.
don't have to deal with glass shit anymore.
I just have to find this subterranean mofo.
I just have to stop this guy from being underground, and you're not going to see me? Perfect. I'm going to get some lunch.
Back at Luther Mansion, Lex is reconciling with his enablement of slavery mass murder by playing the piano. Can you play piano?
A little. Not well. Not great.
Lana returns home from a bougie foreign vacation. Also, another budget-saving thing, just Lana's in Amsterdam.
But they never said why she was there. Was she shopping? What was she doing?
There was like an exhibit.
Oh yeah, it was an exhibit. Remember, she got in line first, and Lex made sure she had like this star welcoming or whatever.
And despite her being pregnant and unable to drink, she is now drunk on power and the idea of controlling the world, all from visiting an art exhibit.
You know what I realized, Lex? All this, it's not about the money. It's about the power. And he's like, I like you, Lana. Now you're seeing my vision. Next day at the DP, Jimmy unsuccessfully attempts to convince Chloe to move out of Smallville. They get interrupted by Clark, so Jimmy tries to bro down, confront the love triangle head on. He challenges Clark to game a one-on-one winner take Chloe.
I'll tell you a stupid funny thing. Clark wearing the white t-shirt. Yeah. When there's a funny thing that happens when a character walks on the set wearing a white shirt, the DP always goes, no. Because it's terrible. Screws everything up.
Yeah.
And so it's a small thing, but it's a thing.
Why?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What, I mean, but it's a crisp
and
white shirt and nothing else. Like you're not wearing a jacket either.
Nope.
White shirts aren't typically great, but like Clark's worn some of those.
I did notice like you were wearing blue in your blue truck too.
Yeah.
Oh, that must have been nice.
Lana stops by the farm later that day to drop off paperwork from Martha. The new altruistic plans to provide homes and jobs for the displaced farm workers, which is kind for the senator. Clark claims that Lex is doing this because he feels guilty, but Lana believes her baby, Daddy, is innocent and has never lied to her. The episode ends with
So she says.
The episode ends with Lex observing Jed McNally in a coma and directing his doctor to put him with the others in level 33.1. We see a super cool bad guy walk as Lex exits level 33.1, which is essentially a prison in of itself.
That's a pretty cool.
I love that. That was a great.
Well, I mean, you mentioned it with Al too, but like the idea that it's slow motion and like this is it right here, obviously, but just like
this is what I taught you. This is what
sums it up pretty well.
This is what you found the moment now. Me gave you my money now. I got.
Now, when you did the scene, did you
my ass and make me pretty? Ow. Sorry,
I didn't want to interrupt that.
Thank you.
Now, when you did that scene, did they tell you it was going to be slow? Did you walk in slow motion?
I didn't know what I was doing.
They
were just like, why are these people in here? I'm like because they're your prisoners. I'm like, oh, they're just. I tried to be just ambiguous and just walk, and I didn't know how cool it'd be. I thought it was going to be stupid. And I go, did that look good? And they're like, oh yeah.
There you go.
And then I was like, wow, kind of look cool.
You know, the weird thing about like being told you're being filmed in slow motion is like you want to walk slower, but you have to do more movements, which is like counterintuitive.
I wish people wouldn't tell me if I'm in slow motion. I just don't tell me. And if it looks good, then great. And if it doesn't, say, hey, can you do this a little slower? Everything, just don't tell me.
I actually always want to know.
Yeah,
because I can make the adjustments to it.
Closing thoughts is the fact that Tyler Posey has the most American teenage accent pull you out of the fact that he's supposed to be a recently smuggled Mexican teenager. Whole lot of dubbed audio this episode. I noticed that even with me, it's like
really?
Lana, blah, and all of a sudden my voice is different. It sounds like ADR. It was terrible. There was a couple lines. I was like, that was ADR. That was ADR. I noticed that too.
Did you guys do your own ADR?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Interesting things of note. This was originally the 5th episode of the season, which is probably why Chloe seems reluctant to call Jimmy her boyfriend, as well as there being no mention of Lana's pregnancy. Now it's time for the hotline. Let's do it. The hotline is on. We got patron privilege, AJ.
When I did ADR, they were like, so during lunch, we'll do your ADR. I'm like, no, that's my lunch. And they're like, on Saturday, we've booked a studio. I'm like, that's my weekend. I'm like, you have to build the ADR into the film schedule. Because I was there all the time. Yeah. And they ended up doing it, but it was a thing, yeah. Where did you do ADR? In LA?
Sometimes they had a booth there at the studio, or I go into a studio in Vancouver, but if I was in LA, I would just do it in LA at Warner Brothers.
Hi, Talkville. It's AJ. This is a question for the episode Subterranean about the scene between Martha and Clark after she discovers Javier, because I think it's such an important scene to make you realize this is why this guy becomes Superman. Clark is so ready to defend and empathize with this stranger that he even has to correct his mom. What are your thoughts on seeing two of the nicest people in the series to be right and wrong at the same time? And did you see a little bit of Superman coming out of Clark in this moment? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, Tom, I thought that, you were sort of We talked about this in the episode, but it's an important scene, and it's like you're protecting someone who can't be protected. No one else is going to protect him.
And he's also standing up for himself instead of just sort of being like, "Yeah, shucks."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's definitely more of an issue, I think, today, more political than in recent years, and not recent, but
it's more in the headlines.
Yeah, and it's just like you see how it affects both sides. I think sometimes people just look at one way, like they shouldn't be here, they, but we don't look at the personal. We don't look at the humanity of it all, and they overlook that for greedy. Anyway, I don't want to get into it. Like Kyle,
it's Clark, because there was the moment where you're like, let's call the sheriff, and you're like, because normally that's like your response is like, let's get the law involved because the law will like make it right, but like there's the line between what is right and what does the law say. And so that's where Clark is finally finding like a sense of
Hi,
right.
This is Kyle from Ohio. I've got a question for Tom about 609 Subterranean. Were you nervous to tackle a serious political issue like immigration? And do you think you could tell the same story today? Thank you.
I do remember feeling like it was not normal for the series to address issues like this, like Al said, like political issues. But it
was told in a way that was
as
different.
A tendency, Clark, however you feel about it, you got to put it aside and play your scenes and play the episode. And I thought they did a good job of sort of making people aware of a situation that needs to be addressed.
Yeah, like what's worse, someone coming in illegally to get work and try to
make a better life
for themselves and their family, or
find
someone harboring immigrants and killing them and slave labor.
Yeah.
So,
just exploiting their immigration status. Just
hey guys, it's Eric from Cincinnati, Ohio. So this bothers me about multiple different shows, but when Javier takes his necklace and just breaks it off of his neck, if you've had a necklace like that, you know that if you just break it, it's a pain in the butt to be able to fix. So do we just always brush over the fact that a broken necklace needs to be fixed and you just take care of it off screen? Does that bother you guys? That's one of those things in shows.
Eric, you're genius.
I'm so glad he brought that up. I think about that all the time.
In anything, when somebody's like, give me that amulet.
Yeah.
It's like, yes. It just pops right off. Yeah. It's a thing.
Or it's like, here, take this to remember me by, like, so I, like, in case I die today.
Right. Frodo.
Yeah.
Here you go. Take this. Yeah.
Never been able to, like, there's always a little clasp that you have to, like,
dude, it's such a pain in the ass.
Well, the props department make it quote unquote breakaway. They do the same thing with buttons when characters have to rip off their shirt.
Yeah.
They score them so that it's easier to do.
Like Harry Styles when they rip away his costumes.
Oh, there you go.
I remember.
Zane.
Hey, this is Zane from Raleigh, North Carolina. For Michael, how did that last scene feel walking out of the lab? That feels like it was the first real visual representation that Lex is evil. We've alluded to it before, but this really feels like the first time that it's kind of cemented in the series. Happy watching.
Zane. You definitely think, okay, he's doing these things. But also, in his mind, he's keeping people safe by
trying to help them.
By, taking these people and testing them and finding out what's going on with them. It doesn't sound great, but like in his mind, he's trying to help these people. He's trying to figure out how it works.
They're not doing so great on the outside.
No, they tend to kill people and be harmful. So is Lex really doing that bad? Ask yourself that question. Jenna, this show is sponsored by BetterHelp. Who is your support system out there? For me, it's my family and my friends. They've always got time to listen and help me understand my situation better. In a society that glorifies hyper-independence, it's easy to forget that we're all better when we have a support system behind us. Therapy, folks, can be a source of support for any area of your life. Therapy from BetterHelp is so helpful for learning positive coping skills, how to set boundaries. It empowers you to be the best version of yourself. And it isn't just for those who've experienced major trauma. Therapy is beneficial for everyone. Ryan goes to therapy. I go to therapy. Tom, so many millions of people. BetterHelp is fully online, making therapy affordable and convenient. serving over 5 million people worldwide.
You can access a diverse network of more than 30,000 credentialed therapists with a wide range of specialties and easily switch therapists anytime at no extra cost.
You know, it's funny is a lot of people think, I don't know what I do if I don't like the therapist. It's easy. You just get another therapist. They give you another one. You don't have to deal with like awkwardness. It's really that easy. Build your support system with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/talkville to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/talkville.
Hi guys, this is Shanna from Leominster, Mass. Smallville meets Tremors, kind of a dead episode from my point of view, but I did want to say that Tom, I love seeing you work with the younger actors and actresses on the show. Clark seems to have picked up a lot of looser cartridges over the series, but you always have a natural ability that comes out when you're working with the kids. It's pretty much the only thing that kept this episode from bomb territory for me. And Michael, badass walking down the dark hallway with arms outstretching from the cages. Future devil in disguise. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Jenna.
It's an interesting question because there's a couple episodes where Clark works with younger characters, and I think as I grew through the series, it's a different tone when you're working with someone younger and maybe less experienced at the time, where it's probably what you did with me at the beginning. It's just a different feel of patience.
Yeah.
And it's a good thing to learn, and
it also feels good to help someone and make them better. It just, and someone helps me, I'm really appreciative, and that's the goal. You want to be better.
Yeah.
So it's like whatever it takes. If someone gives me something I'm having a difficult time and they help me get there, all that matters is what's on screen.
Yeah. The other thing is all the younger actors really want to be there.
Oh, yeah.
Hello there. It's Charlie Thomas, North Carolina.
Charlie.
Michael, how does it feel to know you have one of the most badass exits as Lex Luthor in an episode? Thanks a lot, guys.
Pretty awesome. I feel incredible. I feel absolutely incredible with that scene. Larissa?
Went full Malkovich.
No, I really love the scene.
Oreos.
But why weren't there any effing Oreos in the scene? Okay, this is
Hello,
Larissa.
guys. This is Larissa from Dallas, Texas. Just a statement that I want to make about the episode Subterranean. I just wanted to say that ending scene between Lana and Clark in the barn, where Lana's looking at Clark and she's telling him that, like, she basically can't believe that Clark would think the way he does about her, and like the death stare they give each other. I'm sorry, but that was like the most chemistry I've seen in my life.
It was intense.
I was just amazed. And I remember watching that because that episode came right before a break. I remember there was like a spring break or something. And I remember thinking, oh my God, Lana and Clark are so coming back together. Like, I was just so happy. I was like, yeah, those two are totally going to
You know, I don't know, Larissa. When I watched it, I just felt like there was more like Lana, like, you don't know him. I can take care of myself. You think it was more like, but there was some underlying, I
think she's speaking just to the connection and passion.
Yeah, it was intense. And like, you called her out and then she fired back, but it was amicable in a way. It was mature is the word. Chris says, was this a budget saving episode? Just figured since the final fight wasn't on camera. We knew what was happening, but yes, Chris, I think they tried to save some budget at it. Rosenbaum rating.
I also don't miss the fact that I had to film a scene underground fight sequence with that guy. Like, that would have,
oh God,
that would have been like, what?
They would have spent so much money for nothing.
Yeah.
I'll start out with this one. I think it's tough, man. I mean, I want to give it a heater, but I'm going to give it a half a rose.
I'll give it a 1. There's a couple good scenes.
I was going to give it a 1.
Okay. Death and save count, 1 dead. Francisco gets pulled underground. 1 save. Clark saves Javier. 9 episodes, 18 dead, 20 saved. Series 195 dead, 210 saved. Ryan's favorito scene.
I wonder next time we talk to Al if they kept track of that.
No, they never did that.
Yeah, I mean, this one was tough because I was mostly caught up in the parable of it, and just like sort of wrestling with where the current state of the world is. But here are 3 scenes from the episode, as promised. Scene 1, trying to escape the underground creature.
That was cool.
Scene 2, the unseen fight. And
there's no way it's that.
And I think there's only one choice. There's scene 3, which is Lex walking down the hall.
Lex walking down the hall.
Yeah.
What do you say? What do you think?
It's definitely 3.
Yes,
it's 3.
I think the whole episode just
was kind of like
leads up to that.
Yeah, I was just like, oh, it was like this. It was like, I think I'm at a Fritos. I think I'm gonna get myself a soda. What's on after this? I think the Rangers were playing. Like, oh, that's cool. Okay.
AFI is the band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is what you come.
I just remember the guy had a crazy swoop in his hair. That's all I remember of the band.
Very emo.
Very emo. Very, very
That's
emo.
it for the episode. Any final thoughts? No. Stick around next week as we get wet and wild and talk about season 6, episode 10, Hydro. Let's take the discussion online. Let us know your thoughts over at Talkville Podcast or Talkville Pod. Join Patreon if you want to help support this show and keep it going. It's up to you. If it's gone, you're going to be like, oh, I should have supported them. But we love you. Thank you. If you want more information like merch from the show or our hotline number, you can find all that in the description. Our Patreon canceled this week, so we don't have a patron on, so we're kind of bummed. But we'll have one next week. And remember, folks,
always hold on to Smallville.
Well, we can't forget our top tier patrons. We love you guys, and we're going to read your names off because you make the show possible. Patreon.com/Talkville. Tom and I are here, and let's take it off. Let's take it off. Let's rip this thing. Let's do this. Leanne P, Raj C, Santiago M, Little Lisa, ThomasTomTurner, Shane W, BetsyD, Abhi P, Fatima T, Karen Apple M, 99 more, Lonnie N.
Lonnie N, Brett G, always hold on to Smallville. Charlie T, what up? Garrett W, Bob K, Tom N, Jason W, Lana rhymes with banana W, yes, I say it like that. Nancy D, Brian G, Grape Jelly, 817, Amanda R, Teddy 127, Michael P, Ryan R.
Randy B, Craig G, Jor-el, Heather and Greg, Grether. I made Talkville say butts, I guess. Brian H, Eric K, Clarks M, Kristen B, Dark Achilles, Finky, Early is on time. Damn, who's that? Jeanette E, and General Zod.
Theodore, Jim and J, Doug R, Carlos C, Ken the Limerick guy. Can't wait to hear a Limerick. Corey L, Mr. Home Arcade, Claire M, D Brown, Karen Era M. It's only been 6 seasons. Jewel M, Eldon Supremo, Brian P, Mick Burt's Ginger Moose, Christoph S, I'm a doctor, Jim, not a superhero. Leah W, thanks for that.
Jules
Amanda
M, by the way.
Lynn.
Jules M. Jules M, by the way. You said Jewel. I know she's going to be like, Jewel, so I had to say Jules. Amanda Lynn, Michael B, Sebastian F, Wolfie, Matthew and Lincoln B, Marion Louise L, Caesar G, Shannon Fofana, Tina E, Matt Maverick, Jen T, Randy S, Cassie B, Brad A, Felicia R, Danny Mo Mirabel.
Mary K, Sophia, Rachel D, Steve, and Nate Danger. When you're rich, you aren't crazy, you're eccentric. Rosenbaum fan Sammy Sharman, Kyria, the Alexander Castle, Daryl E, Jenny B, 76, Monica T, Ms. M, Emily, who locked.
Jeffrey K, Gotcha C, previously on Smallville. Keith B, Cookie Carrium, Libertaria, Danny Z from Cleveland, Biagio C, Lady J, David L, Madison H, as told by Helen, Kelowna A, Natalia, Dr. J, Sick Ship, Sick Chic Ship, Sick Sheep, Sick, Dr. G, and Dr. T, Kryptonite, and Brandon C and Flirtatious B, Per6, a Luther Corp subsidiary.
Kurgan K, Naman L, Smallville for Life, Bobby B, Kendrick F, Stacy Beth L, Other Brother Daryl, Melanie P, Starla S, Charlie M, Cheyenne F, Bobby and Issa from Queens.
Nice.
Love Queens. AJ Sisson. Heather. Either way.
Yeah.
Heather H, Tom and Michael's friend Mickey, Allison C, Siren.
I think it's Kieran.
Kieran H, Jill and Brett.
The Real Chucky B, Hubs, Cuban Boy, Una, Laura C, Sarah C, Adam C, Jackie Justice, John W, Jet Blazer, Bradley H, Taylor C, of O, Laura L, and Carolus. We love you guys. Thank you so much for supporting the podcast and continue to do so. We've got a few seasons left. We'll see if I do season 7. I have to have a conversation with Bryce, Brian, and Tom. But we love you. We'll see you later. See you, Tommy.